Ever wondered how politicians, sworn public servants, end up rolling in riches? In today's deep exploration, we're unraveling the secrets behind their skyrocketing net worth. Stick around as we break down the nitty-gritty of how these officials make and, more intriguingly, keep multiplying their fortunes. Get ready for an eye-opening journey through the corridors of power and wealth. The base salary of a U.S. Congress member might seem hefty at $174,000 annually, triple the median American income. However, for many politicians, this figure barely scratches the surface of their wealth. Take, for example, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, whose net worth soars above $115 million, placing her in the upper echelon of American wealth and highlighting the disparity between her and most citizens. The substantial wealth of politicians like Pelosi isn't amassed through salaries alone. Investing plays a pivotal role. Public records revealed by Open Secrets in 2018 showed Pelosi's diverse investments, including $46.5 million in real estate, $15.8 million in electronics manufacturing, and $15 million in Apple stocks alone. Such figures pose the question, how do politicians acquire the initial capital for such significant investments? During her time in office, Pelosi and her husband have seen their fortune grow exponentially through astute investments, with transactions totaling over $50 million between 2020 and 2021, yielding an annual return of 69%. This rate outstrips typical stock market returns by 6 to 7 times, aligning Pelosi's investment savvy with that of top investors like Warren Buffett and George Soros, yet without the singular focus on the financial markets. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, while many faced financial ruin, Pelosi's wealth increased by approximately $16.7 million. This financial outcome brings to light concerns about the potential conflicts of interest and the ethical implications of politicians actively trading in the market. The debate over whether Congress members and their spouses should be barred from trading individual stocks while in office has intensified. Pelosi's stance against such restrictions only fuels ongoing discussions about the fairness and transparency of such investments. Pelosi's case is not an isolated incident. Early in the pandemic, reports surfaced about 4 senators who sold off significant stock holdings right before the market plummeted, informed by briefings on the looming health crisis, a move that saved and even grew their fortunes as the market took a downturn. These actions, although investigated, were not penalized, reinforcing perceptions of a double standard in how politicians' financial activities are regulated compared to the general public. This pattern of investment isn't confined to one party or individual. It's a widespread practice among federal lawmakers, many of whom report similar or even greater investment success. Such consistent high returns raise questions about the advantages they might possess, from timely market information to potential insider knowledge. As the public scrutinizes these financial windfalls, the conversation about the need for stricter regulations grows louder. The intersection of wealth, power, and policy continues to challenge the ideals of democratic fairness and transparency, pressing the need for clearer boundaries between personal gain and public service. The lobbying landscape in the United States is dominated by a few powerful players, primarily large corporations, industry groups, and trade associations, which spend millions of dollars each year to influence legislation and policy. These entities leverage their financial clout to shape governmental decisions that align with their business interests. One of the perennial giants in lobbying is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which consistently ranks at the top for annual lobbying expenditures. For instance, in recent years, it has expended upwards of $60 million annually. The Chamber represents the interests of a broad spectrum of businesses and sectors, making its influence particularly far-reaching. The pharmaceutical industry is another major force, with companies like Pfizer, Bayer, and Merck spending heavily. For example, Pfizer spent around $11 million on lobbying efforts in 2021 alone. This sector's lobbying aims primarily at shaping healthcare policy and pharmaceutical regulations, including drug approval processes and pricing policies. Tech companies have also emerged as significant lobbyists. Google, now part of Alphabet Inc., for instance, has been one of the top spenders in the tech industry, allocating over $10 million to lobbying annually. Their efforts are often focused on issues related to internet regulation, privacy laws, and antitrust inquiries, reflecting the evolving challenges tech giants face in a rapidly changing digital landscape. Another heavy hitter is the National Association of Realtors, which frequently appears among the top spenders with annual lobbying expenditures that can exceed $50 million. This association represents real estate professionals across the country and lobbies on a variety of issues that affect the real estate market, including tax policy and federal housing regulations. The defense sector also plays a significant role, with companies like Lockheed Martin and Boeing investing heavily in lobbying. These companies, integral to national defense, spend tens of millions annually to influence defense policy and federal procurement decisions critical to their contracts. These entities employ lobbying to ensure that their voices are heard at the highest levels of government, shaping policies that can have vast economic and societal impacts. The substantial amounts they spend underscore the high stakes involved and the significant returns they expect to gain from their investments in lobbying. Many politicians enter the political arena already possessing considerable wealth, leveraging their financial status to further enhance their influence and standing. A prime example is the Pelosi family, where Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, founded a venture capital firm called Financial Leasing Services. This business has contributed significantly to their substantial net worth, demonstrating how some politicians come into office with considerable economic advantages. The phenomenon of wealthy individuals entering politics is not limited to a few isolated cases. Many politicians begin their careers with substantial financial resources, which not only provide a personal safety net but also offer substantial advantages in the political landscape. Wealth allows these individuals to engage in politics without the financial pressures that might deter a typical citizen, such as maintaining a steady job or managing everyday expenses. Furthermore, the financial resources of wealthy politicians often align with the interests of major political parties. These parties tend to support affluent candidates because they bring along valuable connections that can be tapped for fundraising, enhancing the party's overall financial health and campaign capabilities. Wealthy candidates often have networks that include other affluent individuals and corporations who may have a vested interest in their political success and are willing to fund their campaigns. This alignment of interest between wealthy candidates and established political parties ensures that those with substantial financial resources have a smoother path to political influence. It also perpetuates a cycle where the political system favors the wealthy, thereby marginalizing the voices of average citizens who might represent more diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. The impact of this wealth-dominated political landscape is significant. Politicians with extensive financial resources and investments tend to legislate in ways that protect and enhance their wealth, often aligning with corporate interests. This can lead to policies that favor the upper echelons of society at the expense of broader public needs. The substantial representation of wealthy individuals in politics skews policy outcomes towards the interests of the rich, potentially at the cost of essential public services and welfare. The dominance of wealth in politics also affects the legislative priorities, with laws that might benefit the working class often delayed or diluted to protect capitalist interests. The overarching influence of wealthy politicians ensures that the system remains favorable to capital accumulation, often sidelining the urgent needs of the majority. This structural bias within the political system highlights a significant challenge: rebalancing the influence to ensure that all citizens, regardless of their financial standing, have an equal opportunity to be represented and heard. Addressing this imbalance is crucial for creating a more equitable and democratic society where policies reflect the diverse needs and aspirations of all citizens, not just those of the wealthy few. And there you have it, the multifaceted strategies through which politicians amass and multiply their fortunes. From strategic investments and leveraging insider knowledge to the influential world of lobbying and the undeniable advantage of entering politics already wealthy, it's clear that the game is rigged in favor of those with deep pockets. This entrenched system not only perpetuates the wealth gap, but also influences policymaking to favor the affluent, often at the expense of the majority. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. If you found this video enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time.